Hello everyone, welcome to this week's reading, and this is for the weekly astrology and tarot reading for the week of the 7th to the 13th of August. And the big news this week is the partial lunar eclipse in the sign of Aquarius, and that's going to be at 15 degrees of Aquarius if you know your astrology chart well. I say it's going to be, but it actually is happening pretty much right now as we speak. For those in the US of A, this is really potent because you'll be able to see, in some parts of the USA, you'll be able to see the partial lunar eclipse. So that's exciting if you know where you can see that from. And it will affect everyone in the world, but mostly those in the USA. And I'm going to talk about this week something a little bit different, which I mentioned last week. I'm going to go through each sign and talk about how, what to expect with this eclipse. Now, the influence does not just last for the day of the eclipse. It lasts from the day going 3 to 6 months, even further into the future. So it kind of sets the stage, so to speak, for some big changes in your life. And it is the sign of Aquarius, which is the change bringer. And, Aquarius being ruled by the planet Uranus and also ruled by Saturn. Uranus is about unexpected changes, and that's what the energy, is infused in this full moon lunar eclipse. So I'm going to get into it with how the eclipse is going to affect each sign. Now, keep in mind when I say sign, it could be sun, moon, or rising sign. All right, so you might want to pay attention to, say if you're a Capricorn sun with a Leo rising and a Scorpio moon, you'd want to listen to all of those placements, okay? If you know your placements. Also, this is for the solar astrology, but if you know your own chart, do have a look at your chart where the moon is transiting, and that will also tell you where you can expect some kind of culmination, endings, and a big shift in your life, okay? So the eclipse can be quite powerful, and usually it's most powerful if it contacts something exactly to the degree. So if you say have a 15 degrees of Aquarius rising, for example, well, you're going to feel that very strongly, and it's going to affect your life in a very significant way. So it can be very unexpected change that suddenly you experience that shifts you on a new path. Something, if it's your rising sign, it's going to affect possibly your physical body, your health, your path forward in life, your direction. If it's your moon sign, it could affect more things to do with your emotions, your inner world, how you feel about things, a shift in that sense. And if it's your sun sign, it's going to be more to do with your personal needs, your goals, your personality, and that sort of thing. All right, so let's get into it, and then I'm going to talk about the other astrology that's going on this week and pull some cards. So this video is going to be a little bit longer than normal. I usually do about a 8 to 12 minute video. This could go around 15 minutes or even possibly longer. It won't go, hopefully not longer than 20 minutes. So, all right, so the first sign, of course, is Aries. So for Aries, the eclipse is happening in your 11th house of contacts with groups, friendships, associates, working within groups, whether it's in the workplace or in another kind of group. There could be an ending with a friendship for Aries people. So, this could be something that's been a long time coming. It could be something that was hanging in the balance that you weren't sure about. It's going to be very clear now that that friendship is over possibly, or that group connection that you've had is over. Time to move on from maybe even a project that you're working on with a group of people. Things along those lines. So definitely to do with friends and friendships and groups, okay? Or working with a group of people. And for Taurus, this eclipse happens in your solar 10th house. So it's to do with goals, career, authority figures, the father. So expect, potential endings around things to do with this. When I say the father, it could be your relationship with your father. There could be a big change with that in some way. It could be something to do with, helping a parent, an elderly parent, move from, where they've lived for a long time to a nursery home, where there's some kind of care facility is what I'm thinking. Something along those lines. It could be to do with a boss also, because, again, authority figures, or it could be to do with just goals and your path in general. You might be having an ending to do with an aspect of your career life, okay? Or a shift with your goals, and that could be something that in the next 3 to 6 months you see if it doesn't happen, you know, in the next few weeks, you'll definitely see it in the next 3 to 6 months, some kind of big shift to do with changes career-wise. Some changes you could make yourself, or they will just happen. For Gemini, it's in the 9th house. So the 9th house for Gemini, it's to do with education, it's to do with your belief system, philosophy. And, you know, for Geminis, you might be having a big shift in your beliefs and your perspectives about perspectives, plural, yes, because the Gemini is associated with the twins, but and you're often in two minds about things, Gemini, so it's funny I said that, but really, you know, this is some kind of shift when it comes to your belief system. And for some people, you know, for some Geminis that are traveling, it could be the end of a trip or the end of a period of time spent overseas. It could be the end of an association with somebody from a foreign culture. That's another aspect. So it could even be a connection with a person that you've known that's, you know, from a foreign culture or overseas that you've had a long-term connection with. Could be an ending there. Could be an ending to do with your course that you've been doing or university studies. So that could be positive for you. But, you know, for many Geminis, it's to do with thinking, the mind, belief systems, and a change there. For Cancer, this is in your 8th house, to do with shared finances, shared monies, partnerships, intimacy, taxes. So there could be some kind of situation involving an ending around, you could have, for example, paid off a mortgage, or you could have paid off a loan that was going on for a long time that was stressing you out. It could be the end of a certain financial arrangement, or it could even be the end of a contract or agreement in some way. And the 8th house is to do with births and deaths, so that could relate to you somehow as well. For Leo, this is eclipse is in your 7th house. So there's some kind of ending to do with either a business partnership or a relationship, possibly, or somebody significant in your life that you just, you know it's time to move on from this person in some way. And for some, it's the end of a relationship, you know, potentially, or a big shift in a relationship that is taking you on a new path altogether. For Virgo, this is in your 6th house, and this is to do with work, routine, and health for you guys. And there's some kind of ending there. So this could be positive in that if you've had a health issue, it could be, you know, you could start to find the answer to a health problem and work on that in the next, 3 to 6 months to find improvement with your health. Okay. Work situations definitely could be ending, and you could be, if you're tired of your job, you could be looking for a new job. Routines could be changing as a result of this eclipse as well. So again, factor in that's coming in the next 3 to 6 months or more. For Libra, this is in your 5th house of children, romance, love received, how you express yourself, your individuality, your self-expression. So there's some kind of change there. There could be a change with a child. It could be, a child has reached a significant milestone. Maybe they're going to start school. Like if you've got a young child, they might be starting kindergarten, or, there's some kind of shift or change to do with the child there that is positive. And there's something to do with your self-esteem here, that there's some kind of ending to a certain way of expressing yourself. Maybe, you've gained more wisdom in your life and you're expressing yourself in a more creative way, rather than a sort of maybe a creative and less sort of surface-oriented way, if that makes sense. For Scorpio, this is in your 4th house, so it's to do with home, family, the mother, where you live, your home life. So there's some kind of change there for Scorpio. There could be a house move even in the next 3 to 6 months or so. There could be a big change to do with a family member. Maybe a family member is going overseas and you're not going to see them for a long time, or you are moving away and you're not going to see your family for a long time. You might be having a change in where you're located. Maybe you live near a lot of family and you suddenly want to move away from family. So there could be something like that. Okay, and for Sagittarius, this is in your 3rd house of friends, siblings, neighborhood connection, community connection, and also short distance travel and communications. So there's some kind of ending to do with a way that you're used to communicating with people. It could even be to do with like some kind of project that you've been working on. that has come to an end that you've been working on with a small group of people. There could be an ending to do with relationship with siblings in some way, or a shift there, or just in the way that you communicate. You may be having had some kind of awareness about your communication style, and you're sort of changing that, and you're sort of, it's something that you're working on, where you may be starting to be a bit more honest in the way that you communicate, Sagittarius. Alright, and let's go to Capricorn. So Capricorn, this is in your second house of finances and, you know, money that you earn, as well as your self-esteem and self-worth and your physical body. So for Capricorn, there could be an ending to do with the way that you've been making money, or the way that you're seeing the money that you have. It could be that you're wanting to make a change with something to do with finances. You're wanting to make some independent moves, or change jobs, or go into a situation where you feel more in control of money situations. But something is definitely changing with your finances there, Capricorn. So that's where you can see the shifts happening. What am I up to? Aquarius, it's happening in the house of self. So this is to do with your identity, your path in life, moving forward, leaving behind an old identity, an old way of living. It's very powerful and very deep for Aquarius, obviously. And it could come with some shocks or, you know, surprises. It could be both. It could be either or for you guys. So there's definitely some big changes for you guys, and this is going to be so interesting to see how it manifests in the next 3 to 6 months or so. For Pisces, lastly, Pisces is in your 12th house of your subconscious mind and spirituality, as well as creativity. So something creative could be coming to an end if you've been working on like a creative project that's been going for a long time. That could be coming to an end in some way, or you could sort of reach a point of sort of feeling settled with that. You could be some kind of ending to do with your spirituality, or something connected to your spirituality. If you are involved in anything to do with a group of people to do with spirituality, you might be moving on from those people. A change in perspective as well, because it's definitely, you know, the 12th house is a very mysterious house. It's very much the subconscious mind, so you could be clearing out some things from your past, even past lives, that are helping you to feel much clearer. But it's sort of very much out of your control with the 12th house, I feel. It's something that just happens. So yeah, so that's for all the signs, and I'm going to talk about just quickly the rest of the astrology for the week. So the main thing this week is that, other than the eclipse, obviously, today on the 7th, we have later this week Mercury goes retrograde in Virgo. So that actually happens on the Sunday, this coming Sunday. It actually stations and starts to go retrograde. So, you know, the usual applies with Mercury retrograde, and especially because it's in the sign of Virgo, I would say you really need to check details at this time and double check information. We always do with the Mercury retrograde. If you've got Mercury retrograde in your natal chart, this is a good time for you. You usually will have information come back to you that you require, things like that. Just going to shuffle the cards as I finish off talking about the astrology, because there's only a couple more things to go. So also this week, Mars in Leo makes a nice sextile to Jupiter in Libra, so that's good news. And then we've got the Sun making a sextile to Jupiter on Friday. So there's really good positive energy around cooperation, social activity towards the end of this week as well. And it's a nice time to do something creative, to connect with friends and, you know, go to a museum, go and see some art, or, you know, music, or something that is creative, you know. Or do something creative yourself and really tap into that side of yourself. And that can kind of really boost you up this week, because of that positive energy from the Sun in Leo, Mars in Leo, and involving Jupiter, those sextiles there. So that's really nice. Let's have a look at the tarot cards for this week. And I have the Llewellyn Tarot. So let's see what we've got. And which one is it? That one, I think. Okay. So hopefully you can see those. Oh, the Six of Wands. Love that card. Ooh, the Ace of Wands. Also love that. And the Two of Swords. Okay. Alright, so I'll just say before I start, if you would like a personal reading with me, the turnaround time at the moment is 5 to 10 business days, though that can increase depending on how busy I get. But just at the moment, that's what the turnaround time is, and the link is below this video to go to my online store to order a reading with me. Alright, so the Six of Wands comes up at the beginning of the week. I love this. So this is a successful culmination, which would relate to, you know, definitely relates to the eclipse. So with the eclipse energy, whatever changes that you're, you know, experiencing in your life, know that this is for the positive, this is for the best, even though sometimes, you know, especially with an eclipse in Aquarius, which is a big change bringer, it's really shaking things up for some people. Do not be afraid of these changes. These changes are coming in to actually help you, you know, synchronize yourself on your path a lot more smoothly, to be feeling that you're more on your destined path, feeling more connected to your path. And sometimes we just need that little push from the universe, you know, because as humans we tend to get stuck in ruts, especially, you know, if you're a fixed sign, Taurus, Scorpio, Aquarius, Leo, you know, those of us, myself included, that have a lot of fixed energy, we tend to get very much involved in what we're doing, and we just want to keep it going, you know. But sometimes the universe says, no, you need to change now, you need to grow. But this is saying it's positive, it's very, very positive, and it's the card of success, okay? This card here, the Ace of Wands, also fantastic. It's a card of new starts, so how perfect for the eclipse. The card of new starts, a brand new, for some people, relationship, for some people a new job or a new career or a new opportunities coming in this week. And, you know, I'm very much drawn to the little leaves sprouting there, which is like the seeds are starting to blossom of this new path forward, so that's very exciting. The Two of Swords shows that, interesting, the full moon's in the background there for the week, that we're in two minds about something though. So that could be something that we struggle with in the changes that are coming, that we feel that, you know, we're in two minds still, that we can't quite see what's gonna come out of this, and maybe that is a mental a source of worry or a source of concern for us. And but I feel like that's just on the mental level, and that could be something that's really just holding us back mentally. I'm going to finish off there because this is almost at, well, it's at 17 minutes, almost at 20 minutes. But have a fantastic week, everybody, and enjoy, you know, the changes that are coming in with the full moon lunar eclipse. Now, towards the end of this month, we have another eclipse, can you believe it, in the sign of Leo, 28 degrees of Leo. So I will do the same thing when that comes up towards the end of this month, on the, I think I said the 21st? I'm pretty sure it's the 21st of this month, and that's a solar eclipse. So, you know, the lunar eclipse that we're having today, that's about endings and new beginnings, but really it's about, you know, shifting things out of your life so that you can make space for the new. And then the solar eclipse that's coming up towards the end of this month is actually about new starts. So that's going to be a bit more of a lighter energy, a bit of a brighter energy, and it feels more of a positive energy to me. So anyway, I'm going to do the same thing that I did today. I'm going to go through all the signs and tell you how it's going to affect you. So that will be on the 21st. Okay? Have a fantastic week, everybody. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.